Hello everybody, welcome to the Straight Line Racing League here for round 7 of the T1 League here at Canada. I'm coming to their own white, and as you might have heard, Nathan is in the box with me. What was that?
I am. I've got some alcohol here and I've got glass bottles.
I see.
The need to whack it against the other glass bottle.
Fair enough.
Anyway, that's the start of the stream. Ruined.
Yes.
Perfect timing. Yes.
Well, you join us for the end of qualifying here at Canada as we see people starting their final runs, or in some cases finishing their final runs. Surface is on top right now and is looking to improve his time. He's currently 2/100ths of a second down through the middle sector, so if he can nail this last chicane, he may extend his gap. He's currently 1/4 of a second clear, and we'll see how he gets on into the final chicane, the wall of champions looming. And he hits it quite hard, but let's see if he gets to the line and improves still. 1 minute 8.5 to beat, doesn't quite get there. Matt Noah backed off earlier. He's going to try another lap. He may actually get some slipstream, but it is raining, so he has to get this done. He has to get it done now. Calkers as well is out
the end
there.
Of everybody else.
It's caught pretty much everyone off guard, as you all know. I normally tend to start these streams quite late, you know, to get the end runs, but it appears we got the end runs at the start, unfortunately. But still, people are going to try. KP91 is up in the first sector. It's only very light drizzle. Certainly seems a lot more heavy in the final sector than it is in the first. So we will see how KP gets on. Follow him right. He might get some nice slipstream as well. There are, of course, 3 DRS zones, so certainly enough
Minix is improving by 0.8 of a second in P11, and this is what he needs to do. It's probably the last chance he's going to get.
That's bad. Surface has just blocked KP pretty much in there. He's staying on the racing line, and KP has hit Surface back for good measure.
Line, and that's P5.
So controversy there. KP gets his lap
ruined.
ruined.
More time in this.
KP had a lap ruined, so what he did there was he deliberately crashed into Surface. But right, Matt Noah hits the wall, but he was still up. Has he got enough speed to improve? He didn't. He's hit the wall. CYP.
I think that was fairly on purpose.
Yes. I think we're all done now. It's Surface on Bully really improved in this last lap.
We
so,
start the stream at the end because, you know,
well,
nothing happens at the start, but
everything works
happens at the start, nothing's going to happen at the end.
It normally works, okay? Anyway, CYP's up in the first sector, but he had to get out of the way of a out of control racing point of No Way Jose. But he might get some handy slipstream here on the back of the car ahead.
And
I can't tell who it is.
Down,
it is
so
Dario.
That's the end of that.
Well, we say that, but he may be able to throw it in here, and he will get a very nice slipstream indeed. Let's just see. 1 minute and 30 seconds to go.
Optimistic.
It's optimistic, but if he can just floor it for here.
To cut the chicane completely.
You can cut it quite a lot though, that's the thing. You can cut the inside quite a bit, but he's decided not to do it. He's cut the wrong part.
That's not enough.
Yeah.
As you can see,
I can't even crash properly, for God's sake. This is getting stupid. Just floor it. There we go. That's more like it. He's not even doing that.
Disqualified. Jesus.
Oh, there he goes. He's going to join Alfie there. And that's parked in the middle of the track. Good job, mate. Oh my goodness. Right, so we saw Dario ahead. He's doing a lap now.
Oh, he's got a rev glitch.
Not on my screen. So,
it has on mine. So I'm
oh. Heavy rain at the start of the race, people. Heavy rain at the start of the race. Oh boy. Tell us more, Danny.
Is it getting drier, Danny?
Will it get drier, or will we see monsoon? I've been waiting my whole life to see a monsoon situation on this game, okay? I've been waiting to see. I don't even know if it's in the game or not, but and certainly in the last game, the heaviest rain possible was typhoon, or monsoon, whatever you want to call it. It was incredible, and I haven't seen it pop up once in this game. I saw it 3 or 4 times only in the last game. It's so unbelievably rare. It goes to inters later on, so yeah. But hopefully it's monsoon. I'd love a bit of a monsoon. It's Canada. I mean,
yes.
it's literally happened here before in real life, so yeah.
Jose's pulled up, and now we'll just wait for everyone else to retire.
I was saying to you before, the strategy could be wet to enter the dry, and that is looking like it's exactly what it's going to be. So, yeah, qualifying's over. Surface is on pole from Matt Noah, CIP, Calcus, Milix, Dario, who just left the session. Hopefully he comes back. Blunt, KP, Drino, Danny, Alfie, Jose, Frunde, I'm going to go with that. Edgar and Gilles, but he may improve here. He will improve, but not up by any positions. And Skinner was disqualified. And that's a weird place to park your car.
Now we've got to wait.
I think actually Gilles' the only one who needs to retire, so chop. Maybe Edgar as well.
We are waiting for Edgar.
Edgar.
Come on, Edgar. There we go.
Cheers, Edgar. Right, please be a monsoon.
Oh.
Please be a monsoon.
Dario's got a grid penalty.
Yes, I don't know who he attacked. Well, actually, we'll find out who he attacked. Let's have a little look. Dario, grid penalty for hitting Milix. So Milix has been a victim of Dario's car. Even though he's ahead, still the grid penalty for the Alfa Romeo. If he comes back, because I'm pretty sure he left the session, as I said. But, so it's a full wet start, then we're going to light rain, and then dry. I'm not going to say we're going to start on wet, because even if it is heavy rain, it's still a chance of starting intermediates. It needs to literally be a monsoon to start in the wet. Like, that's just the way it is in this game. And to a certain extent, that's the way it was in the last game as well. You need a lot of rain. But we'll see if we get it. We'll wait and see.
Oh, there's quite a lot there, I'd say.
Let's see. What colour is that?
A stream or two.
They are blue tyres in there, so it's I think going to be a full wet start here in Montreal.
Maybe a couple of streams down the straights.
I feel this is just one of those tracks that just has a local rain cloud just hanging over the circuit the whole time. It just always seems to tip it down massively here when it rains, but nice and
Bernie's drone.
Bernie's sprinklers. Bernie's sprinklers.
He hasn't got the sprinklers. He's got a couple of drones flying around with buckets.
He's got an increased budget.
Increased budget. A couple of drones.
Right then, let's see who's in the comments here. We've got Alpha Jensburg Mountain once again saying that we've got the heavy to light rain. Don't know about drive, but we'll find out later on. Sven, they're just saying good luck to the drivers, and I think they're going to need it. There's no real point looking at the tyres around wet, so we'll just keep it on position change, I reckon. See how these guys all get on, and that's not really a very good sign, is it, when Matt Noah's off the track before we even get started. And Dario's car has disappeared, so he's too late. So let's go through the revised grid then, I guess. Because his car, you can see there that after P10, there it just goes to P12. We appear to just have a completely missing car there, so never seen that before actually. But yeah, shouldn't have DC.
I saw that the other day actually.
Yeah, well, good for you.
That's just happening when you disconnect between sessions, I think.
Yeah.
Where it grids you, but doesn't.
Let's just go through the grid then. Surface on pole, Matt Noah, CIP, Calcars, Milix, Blunt, KP, Duno, Danny, Alfie. Should be Dario after that, but he's not there. So it's Jose, Frende, I'm just going to have to hope I'm saying that right. Edgar, Gilles, once again, hope I'm saying that right.
Edgar is the favourite of the race, I think. As Zero says in the chat. Edgar for the win.
Okay.
So we've got some Edgar fans in the chat.
Look how heavy the rain is, though. This is
Ferrari.
Properly tipping it down here. It's going to be a fun start. We've seen many
losing drivers before we even start.
We've seen many people off the track on this formation lap, by the way. So this is not going to be very easy when we get started. I can't wait to see how these guys tackle turn 1.
Wait 1 minute. We can't wait 1 minute.
We can't really wait at all. We can't just tell, get up to wait because you just get the disqualified anyway. It's too late, unfortunately. Yeah, turn 1. It's normally a nice sweeping turn 1. You carry plenty of speed into there. I don't think it'll quite be the case today. If anyone tries that, we may end up with an airplane accident, quite frankly. But we'll see what happens. Skin Up is parking up in the last position, which is no longer P16. It's probably something like P14. But here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lights ahead of the drivers. That's weird. One car has moved off the line on my screen, and now the rest go. Lights out, away we go. And that's a weird one. Now, no jump start. It just took a while to get going, so hopefully everyone's okay. Serpent leads it into turn 1, 3 wide behind, and everyone trying to keep it clean. They're keeping it nice and clean though so far. Matt Noah trying to get by CYP, who'd got him initially on the line, but the Haas stays ahead. And look how little you can see here.
Look at Milik on Kalkas. He's forced him onto the grass.
That is Gilles off into Narnia there. He's hit the wall and he's a bit lost. He's in Carlos Sainz land, that. And look at this, getting up on the inside there of Edgar, having to really be careful there. We've also got Jose on the inside of Frunde. Let's see how they get on with that. The Renault ahead for now with the Racing Point coming back at him. Further up ahead though, it is Surface leading. He got the perfect start. And he has that clean air. As you can see ahead, he's got no spray. And the car behind has instantly got the spray and the dirty air and everything that comes with that. Oh, he's nearly into the back.
This reminds me of a very long time ago. CYP's been in these conditions before. A very, very long time ago. Back in season 2.
Edgar's off in Narnia. He is
and
so
I was
far
the only
off.
person that beat him that day. So
did you win?
There, so I did win, yes.
Yay.
My only win. In these conditions. But CYP is very handy in these conditions as well.
Great exit. He's going to have this into turn 1.
On guard. Especially to turn 1 now as he goes round the outside. Will he be able to get a bit of grip as surface runs wide and probably for the best to cover off CYP. We've got some stuff going off further back. I mean, AJ's got a bit of a lawnmower there into turn 1. But gets away with it. Milik is right on the back of Matt Noah, by the way. Going into turn number 3. Oh, a twitch from the front end there. Nearly sent him.
Oh my goodness, I just saw a Haas there, having a huge slide through turn 5. It's not quite flat out at the start of the race. That's why people are struggling a bit through there. But this is one of those races where you just have to keep in it to win it. You can't win it on the first lap, especially when it is just so slippery. Keep it on the track and the rewards will come your way. As no one keeps it in the track into that chicane there, so yeah. Okay.
Oh, look at that! Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, surface in Narnia. Surface is in Narnia.
And CYP is leading this race, by the way.
Well, it's no real surprise because Surface just went off to Narnia in the hairpin there. They were free wide on the exit. Surface, Matt Noah, and
their wet practice. And it's been such a long time since CYP's actually won a race. So,
well, let's hopefully not jinx him.
Someone different. And also, by the way, we're on 6 different winners in 6 different races. CYP is yet to win one, so he's got our best opportunity of that. Of 7 and 7.
We're in a hot streak then. I wouldn't think that was Surface being so fast in this game. I guess he's a bit of a bottle then.
Also, Matt Noah. You say he's a bottle, but he's got second in 4 races, so.
Well, okay.
And won 1. So he's just not won.
Yeah.
He's beaten to the post. Also, Matt Noah obviously not won 1 yet, but Milik's and Kalkas are obviously Milik's won last time out to break his duck for the season.
That must be what, first win in over 2 seasons that would have been for Milik's, wouldn't it? Oh, he's hit the wall. No damage though.
Yeah, he's won a race and DNF'd in every race except that win.
That's a bit like me and ILR, to be fair. Oh, Alfie's DC'd, or is he just ghosted?
Oh, there we go, with Milik's down the inside into the hairpin. Really bold, and it looks a bit too bold. In the end, there's Matt Noah, a bit squirmy on the exit. And Milik's is going to try it around the outside. I can't imagine this will work too well into the hairpin anyway, as Danny is going to rejoin the race. Just behind Edgar, actually, so this has found somebody to be friends with. At the back, Milik's on the Astro on the exit.
Look at Blunt on Kalkers into turn 1. He's going to go for the outside line. I'll give him the inside line for turn 2, but that's if he can get it turned in, which he can't. But nor can Kalkers really to some extent. He drifted through turn 1. Yeah,
the outside line into turn 1 doesn't seem to work because the person on the inside seems to go a lot deeper, especially with a compromised line.
Yeah.
As well as...
Oh, in the wall there it goes...
Is that Matt Noah?
Matt Noah.
No? Yeah.
I don't think he's got any damage though. But he's got away with it.
He's got away with that one, that's for sure. I could just see him sliding wide. I didn't think it was very close. But,
I think I got a good view of it, to be fair, on the exit of the turn 4. So I think he definitely did tap the wall. I think it's more just sort of side impacting more than actually sort of angular hits. But here comes Kalkers. Kalkers flying right now. Dummy sells a dummy, but can he get it slowed down? He can.
He does,
and Milik's is nowhere to go.
It's gonna get. That was so slow, we were like waiting for a decade to get around that corner.
I guess Millix couldn't get the switch back then. I imagine that's probably what he wanted to do, but he couldn't. 10-second time penalty for Gilles. He's already 35 seconds off the lead, so he's or off the pace. Sorry, not even off the lead. That's off the nearest car.
Oh, that's a penalty for Millix, trying to get the exit on Calcus. So talking to surface, I suppose he's starting to catch TIP a little bit, so
well,
maybe using him as a bit of a braking marker.
You know, he just set the fastest lap, didn't he? Set the fastest lap, so he's starting to use himself as a braking marker. He can have probably some more confidence in his own abilities. Oh my! Down the inside there, and that was never going to work. Frinde, so late on the brakes, he was out of control. I imagine Skelet will probably get that penalty. I don't think he really had any choice in that matter. And Gilles has left the session, so that's not gone too well.
Pretty unsurprising.
Okay.
As, I think we're starting to get the race in line here, as you can see on the track. There's a bit of a break between the water.
Well, the rain is a lot lighter now. It's certainly not nearly as heavy as it was at the start, but still relatively heavy. Yellow's behind this. Who's in the wall?
That's Frunde, I think, going backwards behind Edgar. I think he'll be out of the race shortly.
He's parking it, or he's just at the wall again while trying to recover. I think he is giving up on this one. Even got a penalty for good measure.
But here goes Millix looking at Calcas. Not quite enough of the slipstream on this occasion, but on the straight, and Calcas had a shocking exit. I mean, practically parked it in the middle of the apex. As Millix now looking to the outside. Will he be able to get the move done this time? Will Calcas go a bit deep? No.
Into the wall. Now to the race goes Duino in the wall of champions. They went side by side there, did Skin Up and Duino, and that's never going to work. And he is well deep into that barrier, actually pushing the barrier out, and that's something we see quite a lot on this track. And so, after wall of champions, you now got a wall that's actually sticking out on the exit, so that could be quite difficult if anyone gets it. A bit difficult. Oh, another one's in. Frinde is in there as well. And I've just seen that happen on my screen just as it was about to cut off. And CYP's going to come up on this. CYP's going to come up to this. We'll see what... I'll show you what I mean with this barrier. Because now that's open, we've got a second car in there as well. That barrier is going to be jutting way out. Will we see anyone else impact that wall? Because these guys are going to have no idea what they're about to see ahead of them. So...
Well, apparently you can go through that little barrier. From what...
I've drove a race here on other games when this has happened, and you cannot drive through that. You will hit it and you will die. And that's more
Millix
sort of...
is going for the move into the hairpin.
That's more early on at the exit there.
I think that it's just out the way of where you're meant to be anyway.
If you end up there, then you've already pretty much lost your race, I guess. But now it's time to figure out who's going to be brave enough to pit for intermediates. I reckon it's nearly time now. It's light rain now. Very light. I'm surprised no one's actually going to go for
intermediates.
this.
There's less of a, let's say, indication of when it's going to go to the intermediates. Today, say to dries, because you know when it's going to get dry. You just see DRS sign come up. Simple.
But look at it. It's spitting with rain now. We have to be on intermediates at the end of this lap, surely.
Millix is hitting every wall, and I think he's lost half the front wing. I think he has.
He's cruising now. Yeah. Here comes Blunt. Gets him on the inside.
Steam through. That's just a bit of a stupid mistake.
Give us a good camera angle game. Yes, off both end fences.
What is Calcas doing? Where is he going? He's
Narnia.
going right to the inside. It's just his braking point. He literally took it as narrow as possible. It's like, is he more grip? No, I can't see there being much more grip out in there than out there.
Right, let's see if he pits. No, he doesn't pit, nor does Surface. What about Mount Noah? He stays out too, but Calcas decides to pit.
He's gone, and so does Millix. So there's a few that are going for it, and it'd be interesting to see what that pace will be like on these days. And Millix will be changing his front wing, that's for sure. That'll drop him back a little bit.
Right, so the man to watch then will be Calcas. Let's watch him as he heads out of the pit lane. Because he could be the pace setter in a moment, as Skinner gets a 3-second time penalty.
And Danny also goes for the plunge. Just try and gain up a bit of time as into turn 1 Calcus goes. It looked like he was going to run off wide. Yeah, it looked okay.
Does that perfectly, that. It certainly looks like it should be right for the conditions. Let's see if he starts to close the gap
I think online it looks pretty okay.
Let's see if he catches Alfie quickly. You can see the McLaren driver just ahead there.
Yeah.
In the chicanes, he should be gaining quite a bit, I would have thought, if the tyres are right for these conditions, and indeed he is gaining plenty.
The delta's coming down.
So there's a possibility, by the way, you can set the fastest lap on your pit exit lap because of the way the pit lane is. So look out for this possibly actually going purple. It's not out of bounds a possibility. He may well get himself into the podium places here.
About half a second at least in that sector. That's the amount
pitting
here.
The top. Oh, actually no. Surface stays out. So CIP pits, Matt Noah pits, Blunt pits, KP stays out. KP stays out. So Surface and KP stays out. But look at this. Calcus is already onto the back of Alfie, who's surely also going to pit.
Surface has screwed himself, hasn't he? Because the pace difference is massive.
Let's see, Calcus. Will this be purple? There's a possibility of it. It is indeed. It's indeed purple.
And see, look how much he's gained is next to CYP.
Yeah, he's going to be side by side here with Matt Noah. He should have the better exit here, and in fact the Red Bull onto the grass. So Calcus
He's played a blinder.
Surely going to be in that P2 with this, and with these rubbered-in tyres, may even have a run at CYP for the lead of this race.
Yeah, it all depends what CYP's pace is on the intermediates. It was definitely quicker on the wets, but as it gets drier, as the conditions change, what's it going to be like? As we're running into sector 2.
It's skin off, he's facing backwards.
Stayed out as well. And KP lost into the hairpin.
Danny nearly went right into him, nearly T-boned him. Surely to God, Surface has to be pitting now. The rain is nearly stopping at this point and we're still on wets. There he finally goes into the pits. I wonder if someone's going to try the old Lewis Hamilton trick of just staying out on the wets until it's dry. It worked for him in Monaco 16, but I don't think it's going to work for anyone today. Top 2 into the pit lane now.
Canada, I don't think.
Well, yeah.
It's not it's a pretty easy track to overtake at.
No, Edgar's had a spin in turn 5. He's driving backwards down the track here. A really dangerous position, but luckily I don't think there's anyone coming in the near future.
And where's CYP coming out?
Maybe well in the lead, won't he?
Or during the train. Just between Blunt and Matt Noah.
Yeah, but he's still within sight of the leader. He hasn't actually lost as much as I thought he would, considering he pitted 2 laps later than Calcus, but yeah. No, let's see how these guys handle turn 5, because it's becoming a real danger zone for these guys. I've seen 2 cars spinning off here in the last lap. So far, as everyone's getting through okay on this tour. I've still got Millix on the wets, by the way. Well, is that on wets or is the game lying to me? No, it's on enters. The game's lying to me. Skinnup though has pitted for wets. That's his ghost car. So clearly the game thinks that it's wets. Evidence will show otherwise, however. Only lap 10 of this race. There's still a long way to go, and we're still yet to go to dries yet, of course.
It looks like Blunt's going to make a move on surface. He was struggling a bit on his opening laps. Will he be able to go right around the outside of the chicane? That'll be pretty ballsy, I've got to admit, even for my standards.
Oh, he'll get him on the exit. Nice run.
Yeah, he's even got the inside on this one, so surely that's his position if he don't outbrake himself.
They're both outbraking themselves.
He keeps it on track, sort of. It was his corner because he was on the inside, so I think that's fair enough.
Fair move.
Yeah, I mean, he got it pretty perfect, to be honest.
Danny's picked up the pace. He's nearly into the 19s in that most recent lap, so he's loving these conditions at the moment. He would love a safety car, I reckon, because he's clearly got some rapid pace at the moment.
So many messages.
Is his setup more suited to drying conditions, I wonder, Danny? Or, I guess, same goes for anyone else. Has anyone else got a drying setup? Which could help them later on. We'll wait and see. Anyway, here is Surface on board. You can see he is falling off the back of Blunt now. He just hasn't got any confidence right now. surely has to have sort of a dry setup in the works for later on.
Yeah, it must be on the dry setup, but yeah, even if he was on a dry setup, I can't believe he'd be the only one.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think Danny could be on a dry
Oh.
in setup, sort of for inters and dries more than the wets.
I mean, I know Surface is set up because I'm using it for the Mile Race himself.
Oh
It's
dear.
not bad.
Don't want to be a thief though, do you?
I always get beat. There's no what I could do about that one. But Calcus is starting to close the gap on CYP just a little bit. The CYP's got some nice pace. Now he's got into a rhythm. He's getting a lot of time there by going a bit narrower into the chicane. Maybe not on the exit, but definitely on entry. We've got into sector 1. Who would that be?
Could be another spin at turn 5, but I don't think there's anyone off actually.
No, it's being down grid enough. Maybe it was just temporary.
So
watching...
CYP, by the way, is just keeping his lead nicely right now. He's got plenty of ERS to use, much more than the likes of Calkers and Matt Noah. He is managing this beautifully.
Just mistakes might creep in, maybe. That could be the answer to Calcus' prayers. Who's trying to chase down the championship lead at the minute. Currently 29 points off. And it could be a good round for him. Obviously KP's in second, 25 points off, but it's not looking likely.
Blunt just set his fastest lap there by 1.8 seconds, so he might be unlocking a bit of pace in that Ferrari now. Keep an eye on him. Calkers. Yes. Calkers
Yes,
penalty,
okay.
Matt Noah penalty, just as you're saying that. So that's helping him out as well. He's up by 1.3 seconds in the first sector. I don't really know if it's just a track improving or what, but no, that's a good sign that it is track
adapting
improvement.
to it better than others, it seems. Surface is one end that doesn't like it seems. He just prefers a dry race because he's lightning in a dry race to prove that. But not liking it in the minute.
I think CRP's made a mistake because Calcus is now within a second of him.
No, he isn't.
Well,
So maybe just the exit. Going for the exits. Probably got a bit more straight line speed. No, I don't think so. Calcus is gaining on the straights, so...
let's see if CRP can get this under the 1 minute 20 bar. Not quite, but he is setting his fastest lap of the race. Matt Noah sets his fastest, Blunt says his fastest. They're all improving the times now. But Surface there looked like he was over a second slower than CYP on that lap, so he's clearly struggling a bit. Downey, well into 1 minute 19s. I mean, he is really flying along right now. He's cut that gap to Millix by 3 seconds in the most recent laps.
Yeah, he's trying to...
Or by 3 seconds.
If you remember, he started basically going around in AI because he didn't start the race. And it's not a million miles off of, let's say, the 7 that we're looking at.
I'm just trying to...
fair play to him.
I'm just trying to remember. Was it USA last season we saw Danny just dominate with in the wet conditions? Yes. So he does know his way around a wet track. So
that is very true.
If he didn't DC earlier, you got to ask where would he be right now? Because he is currently
by
only
like 20 seconds in that race.
Only 16.5 seconds off the lead. So I guess it's a bit of a shame now actually, but we'll see if he can catch up anyway. It's still raining for now, and as long as it rains, he'll be happy. But yeah, Calkers.
Blunt's putting the squeeze on Matt Noah as well.
Calkers keeps going in and out of that 1 second gap. Eventually DRS will get enabled when we go dry again, if we go dry again. And yeah, once that happens, we will see some nice battling. There's obviously 3 DRS zones on this track, so it's rather useful when it does get enabled.
Yes, indeed. Especially with the back-to-back zones.
Yeah.
As Blunt picks up a penalty.
Right, let's actually let's check penalties then. CYP, no penalties. Calkers 1 penalty, Matt Noah 2 penalties, Blunt 1 penalty, Surface 1 penalty, KP nothing, Millix Jr. penalty, Danny nothing. So we could see still a bit of a shake-up in the order because of penalties in that top 8. I think Alfie's already 16 seconds behind, and no way, Jose. The gaps are too big at that point, so no real point checking them. But yellows. Who's this for? It's for Edgar. He's gone off. Is that at turn 6? Has that started maybe at turn 5, that incident?
Your favourite corner.
Put himself in, well, it's their least favourite corner, I think, because they keep crashing there. As he finally recovers, took him ages. Anyway, Blunt is starting to get rather close to Matt Noah now, and this might be getting a little bit concerning for the Red Bull driver.
Catching a driver is one thing, overtaking, especially in these conditions, is another.
Indeed. We'll see if we can get the overtake done.
Put that there. And CYP is pulling away from Calcus, so I don't know if he's made a little bit of a mistake. It's gone up to about 1.5 seconds. So it's coming back to CYP.
That could just be on tyre management, etc. Just you know,
ERS,
making sure they get
maybe.
there. Oh yeah, ERS, of course. I did mention that. CYP's got plenty. He still has got plenty more though, hasn't he? He's not
You
using
usually
it.
see that in the drive, but used less because of wheel spin and things like that. He's probably only using it on the straight.
Well, exactly, but he's he's managing it rather well.
We don't need to use it.
If we do get to dries, he'll be in a great position with it because he's you know, he's at 90% and the rest are on 50%. There's only a few of us that are saving, including KP and Surface, but KP is trying to pass Surface now. He's getting close, nearly within a second, and Blunt really now putting the pressure onto Matt Noah.
Just got to be careful not to outbrake himself. And going to the back of that Red Bull, he's not quite close enough to be in that position, but he's getting there. The gap between the leaders is now nearly 2 seconds. Which in truth is 5 seconds because of Calcas' penalty, but
I think there's no point having a look at penalties right now, just wait until the end. It'd be too much of a mess.
just trying to keep it interesting for now.
Yeah, we are in a bit of a lull because it is difficult to overtake in the wet, but it is getting lighter all the time this rain.
And Danny's coming to the back of Millix, and I think Millix is catching up to... I think Surface is holding up like a bit of a train, I don't know if it's going to be like that.
Well,
because
it'll
Danny's
become a
within a
train
second
soon.
of Millix. And
It will-
Millix is catching KP anyway,
It will be a train soon.
as you can see him in the distance. And he's got a rev glitch, so I'm going to go off-board him.
Oh,
There's
Matt
Blunt.
Noah's side by side there with Blunt in the final sector. Long straight this, and remember that that bar is jutting out at Wall of Champions, so you don't really want to be going side by side there. But let's see how they go. Blunt on the inside, Matt Noah on the outside. It's hard to really tell who's got the upper hand here.
This one. Yeah, he's trying to get it up.
Danny gets Millix, nice and easy. P7. And into the pit
And now he
lane
can-
goes Millix. Is that... Oh, he's got front wind damage. That's why he's being caught so quickly, possibly.
Possibly.
More intermediates
Danny's
there.
on a mission.
Here is Blunt then, so he's behind Matt Noah, but I think that all came off Matt Noah's mistake. I think they may be starting to overheat those intermediates, possibly just through wear, etc. So we'll see who's managed the tyres the best now, because Blunt really looks to be managing them miles better than Matt Noah. And that's surprising, because Matt Noah's got the free air ahead of him. He shouldn't really be struggling. It really should be the other way round, but as it turns out, it's Blunt with the upper hand. Let's see if he can get a move done into the hairpin. He'll have a look on the inside, but no way
Very
through
close.
there.
Didn't go for the exit on that occasion. Just went to try and make the move into the hairpin. Didn't work out, so that Hoodies is not going to get him on this lap. So he has to stick another lap behind these. I'm pretty sure if Blunt got past, he'd be on for the podium. With buyer mistakes anyway. Well, that's not good.
believe it or not, we're only at halfway distance now. It's lap 19. We'd passed lap halfway distance on the last lap, I think. So yeah, it's a bit of a slow burner this one. It's still raining.
It's a long one.
It's a very long one. Got a lobby to make in like half an hour. Matt Noah, free setting penalty. I've got to practice for Monaco and SLR. I'm screwed here.
Oh, I'm racing as well.
Yeah, but I've got Monaco. Monaco is much more difficult than Canada.
I love Canada.
I love Monaco, but that's not the point.
Well, there we go. We've got no complaints.
There you go. There you go.
But it looks like Blunt still putting the pressure on Matt Noah as he gets a wiggly back end there, but keeps the power going in the right direction.
Milix and Alfie fighting there. The Mercedes passing the McLaren with ease, as you would expect on 9-lap pressure intermediates. And
look
here
how
comes
much Dan
Blunt.
is closing in. 2 seconds now is the gap. I mean, the question starts to get asked, can Danny get anywhere close to the podium at this point? I mean, it's 15 laps yet, but
Well, if Matt
depends how
Noah,
quick he can get past
Matt
KP's
Noah,
surface.
if he keeps struggling, then you just never know. Remember, Danny hasn't got any penalties as well. That is going to work in his favour. CYP has now got his first penalty of the day. So, I mean, if Danny keeps it clean, the win may even be on the cards. He's clearly got the best pace out of anyone. He's a second lap quicker. He's a second lap quicker than our race leader, though. So you've got to count him in. He's now... Well, it's not really been as quick and recent as he's been trying to pass, but the point is only 15 seconds of the lead. And when he's in clean air, he's seemingly able to catch anyone. And once again, we have USA as backup. We know how good he is in these wet conditions.
Yeah, it depends how quick he gets past them, and also the gaps and how quick he closes them down, because there's like a 5-second gap between surface and Blunt at this point, and there's a nearly probably will be a 6-7 second gap by the time he gets there between Matt Noah and Calcas. So it all depends on stuff like that as well.
Another thing to remember, that we have got 15 laps to go, and that's a very long way to go if it stays wet the whole time. He's got plenty of time to work with. And he's got the fastest lap, by the way, as well still, Donny, so he really...
He gets that point.
Yeah, he's working it well. He's going around in low 20s. Let's compare to the race leader, just to see where he is on that pace. Yeah, so they're relatively similar. CIP got a penalty in his last lap, but it was a 19.7. That might be why he got the penalty, though. But it was his best lap as well. But yeah, point is, when they're not cheating, these two are on the same pace, Danny and CYP. So once again,
maybe the win is out
car.
of the question.
Well, what I'm saying, cheeky safety car, that could be a pretty fun battle. But
that is very optimistic.
Listen, let me dream. Let me dream. We've got Blunt and Matt Noah very close. He might get a bit desperate. After that, then again, we just see 2 cars in the wall of champions, so that isn't going to be a penalty. I don't know what will, but I think it only took a spin in Spain, though, from one of the cars, and that brought out a safety car. So it can really be anything that could do it. But Blunt, he's close, but just never close enough, unfortunately, unless he can really maximise his run out of the final chicane. There's going to be no moving. That's not how to maximise it. He got way too far into the braking zone there.
Noah seems to have got that nailed pretty much.
Well, look at this. We've got 5th, 6th and 7th all within a second of each other. As in car to car, not just 3 of them all together. But yeah, let's see how Danny deals with this. I guess Surface is treating this as like the biggest off day of his life then.
He's just going backwards.
I know.
I mean,
he's not used
at
to this.
one point he was in the lead, and now he's down in 5th. And
disgrace.
except for strategy, he hasn't really made that many mistakes. He's just slow.
Right, looking back from Surface, you can see that KP half a second behind, but if he can find his way past, he'll know now that he's got Danny, so he'll know he has to get a move on. And I don't think he's really doing that, is he? Because Danny's now getting closer to KP pretty much instantly. Look how late you can go on
Yeah,
the
no.
brakes.
Also, there's been one race that Surface hasn't been in the top 2.
And what was that?
Spain.
Oh yeah, frick.
They did get the fastest lap on that occasion.
You'd have thought I'd remember that. Oh dear.
I thought, yeah.
Pitting is
You expected me to
Surface.
say Monaco, wasn't you?
I was hoping. But Surface then is into the pit lane. Is there going to be a new front wing? I think so. No, actually.
No.
Okay, maybe he's just killed his tires then. So will we have to make another stop at intermediates? That is, of course, one thing I sort of forgot that you might need to do. Because there's still 12 laps to go and it's still raining. We might end up actually with another round of pit stops here. And Danny's ahead of KP.
Oh,
Danny's
Lewis has
Danny's passed KP. So that's worked out so well for him. Again, it just seems to be going really to plan right now for the Williams driver.
Yeah, because they've been on these tyres now, some of them 15 laps.
I wonder if
So,
Millix has stuck it into the wall of champions, you know? Or if he's just
Well,
retired in the
come
pit
board
lane or
with-
something.
Yeah, I'm on board with Jose at the minute. We might see him.
Have a look on the right hand side. Nothing there. See Renault front wing sat there
I
from
think,
earlier.
but as soon as he passed it though, it ticked over, so maybe it didn't. It's just maybe.
Okay, let's see who pits at the top then. The top two stay out. What about Matt and Noah? Stays out as well as Blunt. So maybe Surface just was killing his tyres so much quicker. Danny though will pit, and I imagine KP might fancy it too. He decides not to, but these guys are covering off the undercut, or at least Danny is, from Surface. And this is extremely important for Danny. We know he's quick enough, but let's see if he can get out ahead of Surface, because if he can, he's going to be really on the charge now. Let's run on board with the Renault driver.
No, I think he's just gone past into turn 1. Oh, that's gonna be close.
It's a bit wide there for Surface. It might not help him out too much. Danny will have a pretty handy exit, but
He's just behind.
Blunt, by the way, is as close as he's ever been to the back of Matt Noah. Does he fancy a look into the hairpin,
Pushing
possibly?
him round.
If he gets the chicane right, Matt Noah gets another penalty. Blunt is taking advantage here, and he really might just fancy this move now into the hairpin at the start of sector 3. Best chance for a while, but decides to not go for it.
Yeah, probably wide, just probably a little bit too far back. But onto the straight now, a bit of slipstream. Will he be able to make anything happen? Will Matt Noah pit? Well, any of them pit. Could be a car crash.
Here comes
doesn't look
Blunt.
like Blunt is.
Makes the
Into the
move
hairpin.
stick.
Ooh, nice. I don't see many moves sticking through there. He's managed to do it after so many laps.
Here comes Danny. Look at this run he's got now. He's just got so much more grip, so much more confidence. Surface defends the inside line. Can Danny get the whole way around the outside? He might have a think about doing it, but decides not to. Yellow flags ahead. Who's in the wall? None of the leaders. That's dry tyres on Edgar's car. I think he's made a mistake there.
That is fairly.
Well, that will be a
bold.
yellow flag in a minute. I'm saying that, I was commentating the One Hub pre-season race, and they did literally go into dries when it was still raining. So it's not actually impossible for that to happen, but
Oh, Danny lost
good.
the back end there.
Well saved.
into Turn
I went off.
3.
I went off board at the worst moment, like, but I caught the sideways bit, so it's okay.
I just got there. Just going through the field.
I'm worried that he's maybe pushing too hard here.
Well, we can safely say that the win is probably out of the question.
It has stopped raining, yes, so it is maybe
So
out of the
maybe
question.
Edgar has pulled out a master stroke.
Let's ride on board with him and have a little look and see how he's doing. Oh yeah, master
no.
stroke.
Oh, yes, master stroke.
Master stroke. Matt Noah,
So that's Edgar
however,
winning
is
the
also
race.
going to try this master stroke onto the softs, or is it inters again?
Inters.
Okay. I guess he's got to just running these inters right down to when there's just nothing left on the tyre. I don't think they have a choice in this. And listen, even though it's not raining, no one has to say the track's going to dry up straight away. It might take a while
Look how
still.
much CRP's gained. If I'm not mistaken, it was close to 2 seconds and 3.5.
Oh, Danny sits around Surface but decides not to pass. That's going to cost them both a little bit of time. So, big question, I guess, is what's going to happen with these top four on the intros? Will the tyres fall apart? It's still plenty of spread there. It's nowhere near time for dries. What's going to happen? What is going to happen? Let's see what CYP decides to do. How's he got the tyres?
Has to pit, surely.
But what
Surely
for?
everyone has
What
to pit still.
for? Because it's still so
What
much
if his
spray.
tyres are like degrading to the point where... Yeah, look. No. Calcas. He carries on 18
Oh,
laps.
look
He's
at that.
missed the chicane.
Can't get it
That's a penalty,
slowed.
surely. No.
What about Blunt?
But that is pretty much handed CYP to win, unless something drastic happens. But something just could happen. I mean, there could be a puncture yet, or unsure.
Here comes Danny. This could be fun. Service on the inside, Danny on the outside. A bit like earlier, he felt like doing a dummy. A bit of contact there. Service tries to cover the line, but surely Danny on the exit now towards turn 1 has gonna surely get this P6. He's been waiting for now, but
No.
doesn't go for it.
Just wasn't enough straight line speed, I don't think. He was alongside for a
Look
little
at this.
while, and then
Look in sector
Didn't.
1. Can you see what I mean? In sector 1, it's just still so wet. In sector 3, it's a little drier, but here it's absolutely swamped still with water.
but
So
it definitely has stopped.
look at this. I'm on board with
It'll be rain
CIP,
anyway.
and he's got so much wheel spin. He's just struggling so much right now, but the rest aren't closing up too much. So since everyone's having the same issues, it's so difficult when it's a dry track at one part and still a wet track in others. Feels a bit like you get at Malaysia sometimes, but so far everyone seems to be surviving. But look, off the track
Oh, he's
again.
missed the chicane again.
Missing that bollard. Well, be careful you don't get a penalty for that. Danny and Surface side by side. Surface off the track. Danny gets the position, but Surface might well get a nice run here, but he won't.
No. He's gone.
So if anyone looks at risk here, it's probably calcars of a puncture, because the tyres probably are not meant to go this far. Are they trying to get intermediates to the end? I don't really
That's a
know.
long shot.
But once again,
That's
it's
a
still
probably-
wet in the first sector. It's so wet still. This reminds me of Hungary and last year's game. It just doesn't dry up. It doesn't matter how long it's dry for. If it's been wet, it's gonna stay wet. But we'll wait and see how this all works out. But yeah, Surface now behind Dan, and you can see how far he's pulling away already. Makes you wonder, doesn't it, a bit how he could have done. But like I say, most at risk here is Calcars, because he's on 20 lap old tyres. And this is going to be very interesting. Keaton's saying that there's front wing damage on Calcar's car, but it's fine. There's no damage on that. He's just struggling with the conditions in general.
Well, he's kind of probably talking to him, so I'd like to think.
Well, maybe it's a light yellow or something, but certainly structurally. Oh, there's a car on the wall. Edgar's hit the wall very hard on the exit there, and is going to end up
Blunt
coming
for a
back
minute.
on the track. Look up for Blunt there. You can see him coming past. What about KP? Let's ride on board. Edgar decides to
retired.
retire. That
Oh
could be
dear, that's a
even
horrible
worse.
place.
That could be even worse, quite frankly. But they're all getting past him. CYP, another penalty.
Oh, that is pretty.
Keaton says it has to be damaged, but it's not. You can see the evidence is there on the screen. There's no damage on his car. Danny sets the
CRP
fastest
announced
lap.
More. I would
That's-
say that
that's
CRP's got
important,
more
that.
penalties, but
This is important. That's his first
seconds.
fastest lap since getting on those tyres. And that's not even much faster than they were when it was still raining. So that still tells me it's still way too wet to go on to dries. And we just saw Edgar crash on dries. So what a peculiar situation we find ourselves in here.
you don't really know what's going to happen. It's a bit confusing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
kind of
will
excited
they
to
pit?
see.
Will the tyres explode?
It is dry to
Will
the
it
tyres
dry
explode
out?
here, because there's still plenty of spray coming off the tyres. Let's see, will CYP pit? He's just seen a car ahead hit the wall. Surely he won't fancy it, but he will. He pits at the end of lap 29. What about Calkers? Will he follow suit? Yes,
Yeah.
he will. What about Blunt? No
What
one's
tyres
taking
will
this
they go
risk.
on?
They're all just going to follow the example led by CYP and just not take any risks right now. They can't really afford
There's
to on these
happening to-
tyres. Intermediates for all three. KP will stay out. He has got maybe the confidence now to win this race, possibly. Can he get tyres like this to the end?
CYP's ahead
Well,
of him. So
man, we did about
not
penalties,
winning
I
the
guess.
race.
Well, we'll see about penalties or anything like that, but certainly he's P2 right now. I don't know what his penalties are. Let's have a quick check.
He hasn't got one.
He hasn't got any. And CIP has got
CYP has two.
two.
He's going to pull away into new tyres.
Well, they're all going to be struggling pretty much the same regardless, I would have thought, but I guess KP's going to have a lot more sit.
Oh, KP nearly lost it there.
On his tyres, he's off the track,
gone
actually.
wide there, and Kalkas has already passed him.
This is so awkward. We're now onto the crossover point, but it's not really enough time. Who takes this risk now? Because obviously these guys all pitted for intermediates, they're pretty happy to go to the end on it, but what about the people like Danny, people like Blunt, and Matt Noah as well? What do they do? Especially KP, in fact. Would
Danny's gone wide.
Would KP be up for just pitting this time for some dries? Will someone think about taking this risk? Let's find out. CYP, I imagine
a massive amount if it pays off.
He's gonna have to stay out. CYP. He's got to stick to his guns now. He knows if he pits again, he could be in trouble. What about Calkers?
No, I mean KP is the person who could possibly do something.
Let's see what he does
as he comes into the pits.
Surely to God, it has to be some dry tyres, and we'll see what he does on a set of sauce, I would assume, if it is dries. Let's have a look. Look out for the colour and the tread. That looks red to me. They are some
he's
softs.
gone for it.
Let's see what he can do on them.
I can't believe how happy I am to see actually some dry tyres.
We've got five to go. Let's see. Will these intermediates fall apart? Will they begin to cool down or overheat? Whatever it is. I think it's more the overheating it will sort of really affect, because the rear will be absolutely all over the show.
And will the dries work?
Let's keep the gap to the leader up there. It's currently 25.8, now 26.2. Give it about half a lap for the tyres to rubber in. CIP is currently on for his fastest lap of the day, so it's surely getting close to the crossover now. This is very interesting. Alfie into the pits now as well, and CYP nearly into the wall. What does he do? What does he do here? Surely it's pitting time now. Let's find out.
It's very close.
In the pits.
He's coming in.
Does he speed? Does he speed? Oh, he locked up very heavily, but he doesn't speed. Calcos is staying out.
On.
Okay, let's see if he can keep the tyres.
This has got interesting.
Blunt as well will continue. Matt Noah too. Danny as well, and Surface Pits. We're going to see a very interesting end to this one. Calker's now leading this race from Blunt, Matt Noah, Danny, and well, let's see if CYP comes out with Surface, or sorry, not Surface, KP.
It looks
Has
dry
KP
now.
gained much on this first lap out? He's probably lost quite a bit of time actually. I don't think it was maybe the right lap. DRS, by the way, is still not enabled yet, so I guess
it's very close to be, I'd say, if anything.
Well, yeah.
Judging by looking, especially the first sector where he said it looked pretty much drowned.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It does not look drowned anymore.
But the guys on fresh inters, did they just go for it now? They've got 10 seconds to CIP. That's yellow flags. First sector, DRS is enabled, but has somebody went off the track? I don't see anyone.
They've called it perfect.
I think they might well have done so. Unfortunately for KP, I think we're better. Look at this Danny on the outside. He realises now there's a bit of track position to play for, and he wants to be first into the pits ahead of Matt Noah. Here's the run. DRS enabled, of course. Remember now, it's going to be a mad dash down to the pit lane now, wheel to wheel, and this could get really tight. Danny is going to be ahead. Who breaks leaders? Oh, they hit each other, and Danny continues. Matt Noah pitted. Danny didn't want to pit. And he's got no penalties, remember. He, at the moment, I think, is in the net lead. Calkers has got one penalty only, actually. Blunt has got a penalty as well. Two penalties.
Again, it's lap 33 now, so 3 laps remaining. Will CYP catch this gap? Danny
has got no penalties right now. Danny has got to get 1.5 seconds. Even if CYP passes, he has to stay within 6 seconds off the Haas car. And I said he had a chance at this one. I don't want to act cocky, but he may have a chance here. He's already closing massively, but he's sliding about like mad. He's gained a whole second in the first sector on our race leader. He just has so much confidence in his own lead.
He's also gained over a second in the first sector.
This is going to be very tight indeed.
It's going to come to the line,
But surely this is advantage Danny right now. It has to be advantage Danny.
I don't know.
I think this is probably going to end up being...
1.5 seconds this lap.
Yeah, but
so
he has to gain.
And there's Danny, you can see
Yeah,
him.
hold on. Yeah, but hold on. He has to gain 6 seconds after he passes Danny. He hasn't got a single warning yet, has the Williams driver. This is going to play right to his advantage
it's too
here.
much, surely.
This is a reverse Belgium 2008, I think, right now. The top 3 are all going to be staying out. They sort of have to. They've got no choice. At the moment, Kalker's...
Now under 7 seconds gap to the lead.
Danny still has to find another 8/10 of a second
2.3
here.
on that lap. CYP, fastest lap of the race so far. And look at him struggling. They're just skating round turn 1, and then you can see the confidence that CYP has. I can only think he's going to win this one.
He has to pass 3 cars, though. He has to get by them without any damage or any incident.
With the way they're going, Jesus.
Well, that's the thing, though. This race is over. This race will be over in 2 minutes. That's not a very long time. Oh, in the wall goes Danny. He's really pushing this one.
Very.
Kalker's, he's looking a bit more in control of it. He's seemingly staying rather consistent. But CYP now has to pass Danny and make 6 seconds.
Well, this looks fairly easy.
Let's see if he can do it. Danny, I imagine, will probably end up defending this one quite hard. But I don't think there's really much point in it. He just goes behind. CYP goes off the track. That'll help out Danny. But then again, he'll be held up. He'll want to stay back and nick a bit of DRS possibly on this last lap. And it's all about Danny. Can he keep this within the window? Because CYP as well. Oh, who wins this one? It's hard to tell.
I can't even tell it just across the line.
I think Kalker's only has 1 penalty. Let me just quickly check this. I think Kalker's...
CYP has 2.
Yeah.
And that's...
Only 1 penalty, but there's only 1 warning away from a second. Blunt has got 2 penalties. So, Kalker's... Oh my goodness, I don't know. Danny is
hurting my head.
Danny is 7/10 away from winning this race, but Kalker's is also in the running for this. Blunt and CIP are going side by side.
Oh.
And you know what? The best thing that could possibly happen here for Danny is for CYP to catch and pass Kalker's, and hopefully that just slows them down a little bit. Wide goes the Alfa Romeo. This is the final lap of this race. CYP. Is he going to get the DRS? I don't think he will.
CYP will
half a second. Half a second this is with Danny, and he's going to spin nearly, CYP. He's so desperate to get by, nearly contact, and Kalker's has got the better run here. Still looking at that guy, it's 3/10 of a second. CYP on the outside, trying to get by Kalker's here for the lead. Surely on the exit left the track, but they're making contact. They're getting so close to each other. And CYP, unless he makes 3 seconds now, I think it's going to be Kalker's, I believe, who wins this one. We'll wait and see. We'll wait for confirmation, but so far, it's CYP at the front. And we will see just what the order does across the line. Through the final corner he comes in the Haas. Let's see what the gap is. Kalker's gets it for now.
Wins.
What about Blunt and Danny gets third? So Kalker's. He took the risk. He stayed out on his intermediates. He pitted for the intermediates, in fact, instead of staying out on old ones. And it's worked out a treat. He's won the Canadian Grand Prix from CIP in second. He'll feel a bit robbed with that one. Danny third. Great race from him there, considering he was DC'd for half. But you got to say, if he wasn't DC'd earlier, he would have won this one by a long way. Point. KP is P4 with Blunt 5th, Surface 6th, Matt Noah, as you say, with the fastest point. Alfie's got to come home, be the last finisher in P8. Noah Jose 9th, Skin Up 10th, Gilles 11th, and oh my god, what a mess. What a great finish that was then. In the end, Danny actually ended up 5.4 seconds off, so,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was not really in the running.
Well, no, he was in the running, right until the final lap.
Yeah.
You need to look at the gaps a bit more. I don't think you're very good at maths, honestly. You need to go back and do your maths exams. Oh. Yeah, so Danny is saying now that DC added about 5 or 6 seconds onto his time, and that conveniently is what he lost the race by. I hope you're not trying to appeal that. Can I appeal a DC? That's a good question, actually. Can you appeal a DC? Not really his fault, is it? But
no, there's not really anybody's fault, is it?
There is Kalker's then, taking that well-deserved trophy for the victory. He took the risk. He stayed out there. It looked like CIP had it. You were convinced that CIP had it, but well, that just shows anything can happen in this race, and it certainly has in the most dramatic fashion. Kalker's, with a reverse Belgium 2008, has taken the not Belgium. Canadian Grand Prix. It might as well be a Belgian Grand Prix. Had rain, had dry, had chaos, had everything.
Had everything.
And let's quickly confirm that order for you now then. While we wait for it to load, hopefully. At some point. Okay. I guess not. We can't confirm the order. It's not going to show up.
It's showing the track.
So, okay, well we can't confirm the order, but you can look back on the stream if you want to see who it was. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
So Calker's...
Oh,
it's gone.
God.
Come on. I'm sure someone... Listen, it was there on the screen for like a second. You can see it there. You just watched the whole race anyway.
You just need to pause it at the right moment.
Pause it at the right moment. But anyway, that has been a brilliant Canadian Grand Prix. It took a while to get underway, that one, but once it did, my God, what a thriller that one was. And I've got to get ILR3 ready, so I'm going to have to head off and end the stream pretty quickly. I have a new commentator at Owen White. Nathan, join me in the commentary box. Cheers. And we'll see you...
everybody.
See you next week for...
See you in half an hour.
Well, I'll see you next week for France. Actually, you know what?
I'll be back next week as well.
I won't see you next week. I don't think I want to watch France. Anyway, safe travels.